So this is our scientific investigation practice lab demonstration number 2 video. I'm going to walk you through another lab, and I want you again to think about a problem, independent variable, dependent variable, and control group based on what I show you for the lab demo. So once again, safety goggles on, and let's get rolling. Okay, so for this demonstration, what we have is a meter stick that I have used some masking tape to tape to the leg of the table, and I have a ball. Now, what we could do with this is to see how the height of the ball being dropped, how that affects its bounce height. So we could start with just here, maybe at the top of the meter stick, and we could drop it, and you could have someone recording it with their phone so you can pause it and see how far it bounced up. You could stand on a chair, grab a chair, and you can figure out how high you're starting up as you're standing on the chair and drop it again. And again, with this, you probably would have to record it. So you'd have your lab partner with a phone over here like I'm recording, and then that way you could actually physically see in the video, and then you could pause it to see where it stopped along the meter stick. And you could do that from different heights. Again, you could have 2 or 3 different heights you do it from. Somebody could even stand on the table and measure how high it is before they drop the ball and determine how far it bounces. All right, so hopefully you pause the video and you had the opportunity to try to figure these out. So let's take a look real quick. Again, our problem is going to have both the independent and the dependent variable in it. So we could do something like, how does the height a ball is dropped affect its bounce height? Something like that. Okay, and again, this is a question, so we put our question mark. All right, next thing is independent variable. Again, I told you if you write your problem thoroughly that you'll have both in there. So independent variable is the height the ball was dropped from. Okay, that's your independent variable. Remember I told you you could start at the top of the meter stick, then you get somebody to stand on a chair and drop it from there, and then someone can stand on the table. So that's what you changed at the beginning of the experiment. The height, so you got 2 heights going on here. The height from which the ball was dropped. Okay. And again, we have a meter stick. I would tell you, make sure you do it in centimeters or whatever. All right, and then dependent variable is also up there. That's bounce height. So that's what you're waiting to record. Like I said, I told you you could take a video of it, and that way you could stop the video and you can actually physically see where it bounced up from on that meter stick. So this is just bounce height on the first bounce. We just let it bounce one time and then see. So bounce height. All right, now with this one is a little tricky because, I don't know, the control group in this case, you would just have to decide as a class, probably the control group, and maybe since I told everybody that they would start at the top of that meter stick, so everybody's, meter stick is the same length. The drop height from the top of the meter stick. Because if I just gave you freedom to stand on the table, stand on the chair, everybody's got a different height. So all those are going to be varying all over the place. You would record that in your, data table, but in this case, everybody would have the same height for the first trial because you're starting at the top of the meter stick and everybody's meter stick is the same length. So again, this one's a little tricky with the control group because, there's no normal for this, but you try to go with something that is everybody's doing at the same time that makes it, uniform, I guess I could say.